Good afternoon once again, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am BookNerd802, and during my live stream this morning, one of you recommended that I read something by Edgar Allan Poe since I haven't much immersed myself within his realm, and I asked for a recommendation, and the same person told me to give The Fall of the House of Usher a go. I immediately went and found a PDF version of it online, 25 pages long, and I read it and reviewed it as well. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars, and yeah, I feel as though Poe is a great author for one to immerse oneself in, especially during the spooky season of the year. As we all know, Halloween is within a couple of weeks. This is the month where everybody is reading scary things, haunting things, memorable things. And I found this to be rather interesting and written in a way which I have on very few occasions come across, whereby the authors do not express what they have in their minds necessarily directly, but rather through metaphors or plenty of creativity within their descriptions, which, don't get me wrong, might be a bit challenging to understand, but does make the writing that much more beautiful. And one author which came to mind is perhaps Harlan Ellison, the author of I Have No Mouth Yet I Must Scream or And I Must Scream. Harlan Ellison has a way of describing things where the reader is allowed or meant to do most of the work when it comes to assuming what is going on, what will happen, um, open endings, I suppose, information not being given, the paranormal or things which do not occur on a daily basis. So, granted, I did not find to be necessarily engaging or thought provoking, but I enjoyed how the house of Usher falls both literally and figuratively, since the last two members of the Usher family name die. Now have Roderick Usher, and we have his twin sister. Her name is Madeline Usher, and apparently Roderick invites the author over, Edgar Allan Poe himself, we can assume, or some sort of persona or other, to go over and help him, because his mental health and physical health is also declining, and as it happens, he basically buries his sister alive within the confines of his own home for a couple of weeks. His intentions are pure, as far as I know, because um, he doesn't want her body to be taken advantage of by other people if she is buried elsewhere. He doesn't want her to be dug up and experimented on, basically. That was apparently a very common occurrence at the time. And yeah, I mean, it is rather grotesque when we find out later in the story, especially since Roderick knew what was going on straight away. The author did not really do anything about it either, which is extremely strange considering that when the author arrived at the house of Usher on horseback, he noticed a fissure, right, which um, could only mean that the house would be falling eventually, the physical um, body, I suppose, of the house would eventually fall, and he noticed that it would, but he didn't say anything. He didn't try to save Roderick or his sister. He just stayed there, kept Roderick company, just thought the noises the house was making, all the creaking, it was just a part of the house being old rather than the fact that it was falling. He didn't provide any help, just company. And yeah, I mean, Roderick does understand that he is surrounded by death, basically, by phantasms that the Grim Reaper would be about anytime soon. Um, I wonder why Roderick did not bother to do anything either, since he knew what was going on. He's the one who revealed that he knew all along that his sister was alive, and he's been seeing her around the house all along. How much of it is real and how much of it is imagined, I do not quite know. Honestly, it is not expressed directly, as I mentioned. It can be rather abstract, and the readers are meant to draw their own conclusions with regard to what actually happened to Roderick's sister. But it's weird to me that the author would not do anything, and neither would Roderick, basically. Yet Roderick's reasons um, for not doing anything are much more justified than those of the author. Um, so yeah, I mean, the author makes his escape just before the house falls, and just before the ushers die. Um, and yeah, once again, it's very strange to me how he didn't do anything. If you think any differently about the story, do let me know in the comment section. Perhaps there was something that I did not quite understand. Um, could be the case. I mean, I am not perfect, definitely, but if I have to be critical about it, that is what came across, that Roderick and the author did not do anything to save themselves, to help themselves or their families, especially the Usher family, from falling, which just makes this a bit more poetic that the House of Usher falls in so many ways at the same time, basically. And we are in constant suspense as to when it would fall, how it would happen, whether the house itself would fall or not. That is why I gave this 2.5 stars after all, because I wanted to continue reading to see whether the fall of the House of Usher would just be a metaphorical thing, or rather also a physical thing, where the building would be destroyed as well. Yeah, I mean, the author just didn't bother to do anything. Rather a grotesque, haunting, and well written story, but at the same time, neither particularly imaginative nor memorable. And I would say that the context, the house itself, is what the author relied on to engage the readers. In my case, honestly, I wasn't particularly hooked, even though I did find it to be interesting for the reasons I mentioned. Um, do let me know whether I missed anything, and if you have any other Edgar Allan Poe recommendations, please let me know down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Take a look at the rest of my content because why not? It's absolutely amazing. I will leave a link to the story for anybody who is interested in my description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will be seeing you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.